Hi all, welcome to the session on configuration management using Ansible. So here we are going to cover what is configuration management, what is Ansible, why use Ansible, Ansible workflow, architecture, installation of Ansible, and some basic concepts of YML understanding. Then Ansible inventory or host files and playbooks. Then we'll see a demo on how to set up master slave configuration using Ansible and how to install Apache 2 on the slave nodes from master. So before moving into Ansible, so just have a basic understanding on what is configuration management. So configuration management from software point of view is a process to systematically manage, organize, and control the changes in the code, document, and other entities during the software development lifecycle. From Ansible point of view, so that is maintaining configuration of the product by keeping a record and updating detailed information which describes an enterprise's hardware and software. This is basically a configuration which we need to maintain for all the systems or all the codes or all the records in a simplified way. So those information includes actually the exact versions and updates that have been applied uh, to install software packages, their locations and network addresses of hardware devices. So what is Ansible? So Ansible is nothing but a simple open source IT engine which automates application deployment, intra-service orchestration, cloud provisioning, and many other IT tools. So it's like mm, you can consider a scenario like a IT person in an organization if wants to install a software on multiple machines in the organization. So it is very tedious for him or her to go to each and every machine and install that. So there should be some automation way or automatic way so that that person can install remotely to each and every machine by simply executing few commands. So Ansible is one of that solution uh, for that kind of scenario. It is very easy to deploy because it doesn't use any agents or customer security infrastructure. Means there is no particular agent is required to these like anything is continuously running or any dependencies. So it is designed for multi-tier deployment. Ansible doesn't manage one system at time. It models IT infrastructure by describing all of your systems are interrelated. It means the concept is like it has a the architecture is like it has a master machine and it the master will control all the nodes through the SSH secure connection. So we'll move in the further slides. We will discuss how that works actually. So it is completely agentless, which means it will works by connecting your nodes through SSH. So after connecting to your nodes, Ansible pushes small programs. Those are called as Ansible modules. And Ansible runs that modules on your nodes and removes them when finished. So this is the beauty of Ansible that after it finishes the job, it removes that particular task. So it manages your inventory in simple text file, INI file, YAML file. There are a lot of file formats. So it is very easy to write and also easy to human readable. So a layman can easily understand what is written in that file and he or she can easily debug that file also. So Ansible uses the host file where one can group the hosts, you can control the actions on a specific group in the playbook. So it is like there will be a host file which is called as inventory. We need to mention all the slave node machine details like IP address, username, password, all those things. And we'll write a playbook which basically contains the modules and it calls and it connects to the slave nodes using the host file configuration details. So next is why use Ansible. So there are a lot of benefits to use Ansible. It is very secure to use, which is due to its agentless capabilities, very consistent and lightweight. Um, it is it has no constraints regarding the operating systems. Uh, it doesn't need any special system administrator skills to install and use it. It basically simplifies the complex things into very easy way, in a very easy way. So Ansible has a smooth learning curve determined by the comprehensive documentation and easy to learn structure and configuration. So it is also free to use by everyone. So it has a capability of available lot of plugins. It has inventories modules. So it has also a concept like a role, which is a framework of automation framework kind of concept by which you can break the playbook and you can do in a modularized way the activities. So what is the workflow of Ansible? So as we discussed, so this is the Ansible management node, which is mainly called as master node, and it is connected to different hosts, that is slave nodes through SSH connection. And Ansible management node or master node has two things like playbook and inventory. So inventory, basically the host file, is containing all the slave node details, IP address, name, all those. And playbook contains what are the basic commands we need to execute, or what are the instructions by following which the software or product can be installed into your slave nodes. So these are basic few terms which we use Ansible. In Ansible, it will be easier to understand if you go through each and everything. Like the most important things are modules and inventory, role, play, handler. The handler is basically like the task is called only if a notifier is present. Means if you installed a server and it requires if any changes in that server or any file changes and you need to restart that server, then the handler is the handler is the module which handles in that playbook, that activity, that task. So roles I have already explained. So modules is a command or set of similar commands which is executed on the client side. The task is the section which consists of single procedure to be completed. Like you want to install something, some software, some command. Those are called as task. So this is simple architecture of Ansible, where we have different accessibility, like through public or private cloud. Also, you can access. You can implement the same thing through your on-prem. Also, you can do the same thing. So in this Ansible orchestration engine, we have inventory, modules, plugins, API. So API is basically the transport for the public or private cloud, and plugins are available for depending on your requirement. A lot of plugins, Python plugins are also there. So it will connect to that your host and networking. So you can uh, do the activities in a particular host, as well as you can do the activities on the networking as well. So this explains the different components of this architecture. So like inventory, APIs, modules, plugins, playbooks, hosts, networking, cloud, CMDB. CMDB is a type of repository which acts as a data warehouse for your IT installations. So uh, playbooks I have already explained. Playbook plugins is a piece of code that expands the core functionality of Ansible. There are many useful plugins, and you also can write your plugins. So we'll go with installation of Ansible. So there are two kind of machines available. for to installation in Ansible. That is the control machine and remote machine. Control machine is basically the management node, or you can say the master machine, or and the remote machine is the slave nodes, that is the hosts. So you can install in so many ways. So this is one of the way I have captured here, that is the control machine requirement. So the main requirement is here, you should have Python installed on your machine, and but maybe the version like Python 2 or Python 3. And these are the steps for installation of Ansible on Ubuntu machine. So you need to do the apt-get update, then install software properties common, then your add repository PPA. So this is a repository required to install the supporting for Ansible, and then you can do sudo apt-get install Ansible. We'll cover this in the demo part, how we are going to install and all this. So this is basically YML, some basic touch on YML, how we are writing, what are the different components of YML, what is the structure. So the important part here is YML is like yet another markup language. So it starts with three hyphens and ends with three dots, although those are optional. So it will be good if you use them. The structure is like it is having key value pair. If you see in the snapshot in the example here, it is basically a you can say that student record where we have names, roll number. So this is basically the structure of YML, how we are writing. Why I'm explaining YML? Because the playbook is written in YML. So we need to follow this structure only when we write the playbook. The most important part is indentation. So we need to take care of indentation very carefully. If there is something in the indentation problem, so it will not work actually. So the below is some syntax, like you can use pipe to include new lines while showing multiple lines, and the greater than or less than symbol to suppress new lines. So this is now we'll go to inventory or host file. What is there in the host file? So Ansible works against multiple managed nodes hosts in your infrastructure. Uh, At the same time, using a list of group or list known as inventory. So what basically we are doing in the host file, we need to give a group of server details or node details, um, to which we need to communicate through our master machine, and we want to install some software or do some product installation of product in that node machine. So the default location of inventory file is your /etc Ansible and hosts. Although it is a read-only file, you need to have sudo user privileges to edit this file, or you can copy your file, that file, and you can edit it and you can use that file. Now, the inventory file can be in one of many formats, like I explained earlier, also text file, ini file, yml file. So this is one of the example of ini file I have given in the right side. So the headings in brackets are group names actually. So if you see in the snapshot, the web server, PV server, so you can group different servers using this bracket, give a name, and that name should be passed into your playbook file so that it can easily understand and communicate accordingly. Then move to playbook. So playbooks are Ansible's configuration, deployment, and orchestration language, which is policy if you want to remote systems to enforce, or a set of steps in general IT process. If Ansible modules are the tools in your workshop, playbooks are your instruction manuals, and your inventory or host files are your raw materials. So this line clearly understood actually. Playbooks are the files where Ansible code is written in YAML format. So there are set of instructions we need to write in playbooks, and based on those instructions or modules, you can say the master machine will send those modules to your slave nodes and work accordingly. So this is one of the core feature of Ansible, that is the playbooks. Tell Ansible what to execute, like a to-do list, you can say. And playbooks contains the steps which the users want to execute in a particular machine. And the most important thing is it runs sequentially from starting from top to bottom. The structure of playbook is an aggregation of one or more plays. Plays means your like each instruction or command which is going to play, that is called as inside your playbook. Playbooks are structured using plays. There can be more than one play inside a playbook. So this is basically a simple structure of playbook. So here we started with three hyphens, then name. Name is basically whatever the name you want to give your playbook. Then host. Host is your like host file name, host file group name. And become yes is this is for to activate privilege escalation. Like you can use like root privilege, or you can use it with another users as well. Variables are like simple other programming variables. You can use these in your playbook. Tasks are mainly the instructions to be followed, like the installation command, the edit command, or the run command. Those things can be in the task category. So this is some basic understanding. So let's do a hands-on of how to configure Ansible and how to configure your master slave node. And we will run a Apache server in the node machine by using the playbook. So I'm using here the AWS EC2 instance for this master and slave machine. So what will follow, we'll first create three instances. One will be the master and two slave nodes. Configure the SSH security for easily accessible communication between master and slave nodes. Then we'll install the Ansible. Then we'll create the host file, edit the host file, then create the playbook, and then we'll uh, run the playbook and see how if the Apache server is being run in the slave node or not. So let's move to the EC2 instance to create EC2 instance. So this is my AWS console where I'm going to create three EC2 instances. So I'm using here the Ubuntu free tier 18.0 for LTS and T2 micro. So we'll use availability zone, usist 1A, and storage, index, name, Ansible master. So here you need to configure the security group, add the security group. So we need to add SSH port 22 to do the SSH connection. Also, we want to do the HTTP port 80 because we want to access the Apache server after Apache 2 after the installation. So just saving the preview and launch. So before this, I'm going to save my this value. downloading the launch instances. You in the meantime, I can do launch more like this to launch two more instances. I'm just going to edit the tag. Just cross check the security group. Yeah, it is HTTP and SSH launch. Yeah, I'm using the same existing key pair. So it will take few minutes to up and running. So this is my master node, which is having the public IP address. This is slave 2 and this is your slave 1. So in the meantime, I'm trying to SSH this master node. So this is the master's public IP. And this. So it is in initializing state. So let's wait for this to active state. Yes, now we can SSH. Give the password or password. So here I'm able to SSH to that master machine. So now we can do the configuration of this SSH key to pass the public key, the authorized key of the slave node, so that it can easily SSH between master and slave. So for slave node 1, so this is the key. So we can generate a RSA pub key. You can see it is there in this. So I can do the cat of this file. So key we can this is the key we can copy. So here we are able to do the SSH between this master to slave. Like here we have copied the LSPub SSH key of the master and appended into the authorized key section of the slave node 1. So if you see, this is now the private IP of your slave node 92.247. So the same thing we can do for slave node 2. Is the public IP. Now you can see here we have authorized key, so we can copy that public key in this, right? Here, Control D. So now we can also SSH from here. So we need to give the private IP of So both the communication is now fine. From master, we can able to access both the slave nodes. Now what we'll do, so this part we have already done. So now we'll do in the master machine, we need to do the sudo apt update and install the Ansible. This is to update all the required configuration. Then install Ansible. It will take few seconds. So after this installation of Ansible, we need to check whether Python is there or not, or Ansible version also you can check, because Python is required for this. So it is a case of successfully installed. So you can check Ansible version, yes, and you can Python installed or not, yes, because Ansible package itself contains the Python, so it is by default installed Python. You can see if you check the Ansible version also, it is showing the Python. Okay, so now we can check the directory structure of Ansible. So it is installed in etc Ansible. So there are two files, ansible.cf config file and the host file. So we need to first change the configuration file ansible.cg, because see, if you see, there are a lot of things mentioned in this. So we have everything is commented. So we need to just enable two things, like we need to delete this inventory, that we are saying that we are going to use this host file for the inventory purpose, and you can remove this sudo user, so that it's not restricted to only root. Any user can access this. Save it, and then we'll go to the host file where we are going to define the inventory. So as I mentioned earlier, so here there are some examples mentioned in this file. You can write your own. Mentioned your node details. What are the, and mention the group as well. So I'm going to create a group which called Ansible client. The structure will be like your give the node name. So the structure of this is a machine name and your host, Ansible host, that is a public IP, and this is the supporting file, because by default it is taking Python 2.7. So I'm going to use Python higher version. So you can mention here. If you have only this version installed, Python 3 and above, so there is no need to mention this. If you have multiple versions of Python in your machine, so you need to mention this. Otherwise, it will throw error like not able to find the Python module. So here the machine name I'm giving node 1 is Ansible host is your the public IP of your slave node 1. So this is my public IP. Then Ansible Python interpreter, which is your the path of your uh, Python package, which is your user bin Python 3.
What are you doing and open?
And you can save it. So now we have successfully edited our host file, and we can simply check if the ping is success or not from master to slave all the nodes. So the command is your ansible -m ping all. Yes. So your node 1 is success. I have done one mistake. I have given the same name node 1. That is why node 2 is not it is being skipped because it is a sequential. We'll do again. So if you got successfully ping, so you will get like message like node 1 success ping pong for second node. So now we have both the nodes successfully pinged. Next step is we're going to create a playbook, and there we'll mention how to configure your how to install your Apache. So for that we need to create a YML file itself. So vi, I'm giving the playbook name file name as g2.yml set and name is, so this is the your playbook name, so I'm giving sample playbook. Then I have to give the hosts file. So here I'm giving the group name like Ansible underscore client. This is the host name we have given in the hosts file. Then we come through to activate the privileges. Then tasks. Here we are going to mention which task we are going to do. The name of the task will be your install Apache 2. Okay. Then we can give a command what we need to execute. So this apt update underscore MC is your yes. So this is basically what we are going to say. We are going to say that if all the required environment packages are not updated, you just update in that slave node machine. And name is Apache 2, and what you are going to say Apache 2 and install the latest one. Okay, so this is the simple structure, simple playbook we have created. Save. So after this, just need to check if the syntax is correct or not of your playbook. So the command will be Sybil playbook. Playbook name is your Apache 2.yml hyphen syntax check. So if your syntax is okay, so it will give you the playbook name itself, that playbook and your Apache 2. So now we can just execute the playbook, Ansible playbook. Apache 2.yml. I'm getting some error. It's getting change false message and supported. I think there is some mistake in that. Spelling mistake. So we have done the mistake in this spelling. Hopefully it should work. Yes, it is taking time, so installing the H2 now. It will take few minutes to install the Apache. If you got installed properly, you will get something like this. We'll get how many OK and how many changes in these files. Let's wait for a few minutes. Yes, so we have two OK commands and two changes in both the nodes. So now we can go and see if we can able to access the Apache of Apache server. So it is simply Ubuntu. So here we'll able to see this, and this is the public IP of your second slave node. So we are successfully able to install this. So this is all from basic Ansible understanding and how to set up the master slave configuration, but also installing Apache 2. Thank you all for your patience and understanding, and you're most welcome to give any feedback, and if any queries, please reach us to edebubsguru.com. Thank you.